DJTV. Man, we're getting some pretty good comments here. It's nice knowing that people are getting something out of our efforts here. Whew. Here's an interesting one. D. Sharon Monday, and I don't think I pronounced that right. Anyway, D. Sharon Monday writes, I love the stuff you're giving us, but what about those of us with a much smaller studio or no studio at all? Like if we're using our garage or a small room. Can you give us tips to do the same if we don't have the luxury of adequate studio space? Well, the studio I shoot in isn't really that huge, but granted it's bigger than my garage. Monday makes a point here. I should put together an episode that deals with shooting in a not-so-ideal place, like my garage. I've had to do it before, so that settles it. This week, I stay at home and I prove that just because your studio also doubles as your laundry room / yard equipment storage facility / tool shop doesn't mean that you can't pull off some good-looking shots. What's this? Product placement? Wow, iris3 Film and Video Library. Boy, this brings back memories. Seems like just yesterday I was running around this great country of ours, lining up talent, securing locations, and producing about 1,000 clips for this monster. But you know, it gets me thinking about the usefulness of video tracks in your productions. There's a lot of clips in the entire library. Enough to put together entire sequences and no-shoot commercials or whatever the case. But it's always nice to put a little touch of you in the productions that you make, whether it's through graphic treatments or color choices or editing pace. So this week, I'm going to show you how to put a little touch of you into a commercial that we make using primarily video tracks clips. But the last shot I'm going to make myself, and you can too, and it's going to be specific to the sequence. Well, playing behind me here on my trusty old garage TV is a sequence that I've assembled for a pretend back-to-school commercial for a local private school. For the end shot where I need a graphic stating the school's name and their slogan, I'm going to go ahead and shoot this myself. I'm kind of picturing a school desk with maybe some books, some pencils, maybe some eyeglasses on it, and in the background a chalkboard with some chalk writing like the alphabet or maybe some numbers. I want to give the impression that maybe it's the teacher's desk. To add a little action to the shot, we'll go ahead and place a shiny red apple on top of the books. So let's get started. Did I mention that it's really hot in my garage? All right, so for starters, we got to get our desk into place. Right about here on. Good. Now I've got this set back more towards the back of my garage, so I still have room to get my camera back a little ways from this setup. And I've also left a little room behind here to get my chalkboard for my backdrop back here. Now I know it doesn't look much like a desk right now, but in time it will. So let's go ahead and get our props into place and we'll frame this baby up. Okay, back here at our camera, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and I'm going to get sort of a rough framing here. That should work for now. I want it to be fairly tight, but I want to leave enough room up top so I can have a hand come in and place the apple on top of those books. This looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and work on the backdrop now. All right, for our background, I'm going to use this piece of wood here that has this cool leathery texture to it. It's about the right size that I need, and the back of it is just this cool wood surface that's kind of, in my opinion, resembles that of a chalkboard. Its only drawback, well, it's not the right color. In my mind, I'm kind of picturing this old-fashioned green chalkboard with some letters written in chalk. So, with a little spray paint, there we go. Spray a little here, spray a little there. Here and there. Good, and voila, we have a chalkboard, sort of. Okay, so to mount this, I've got a couple of C-stands here that I've got into place. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this and clamp it to this one. And to this one. Okay, now let's go see what our framing looks like so we can make any adjustments to this thing. Okay, well, we need to move things around a little bit in the frame, but this is coming together. Now we just need to light this baby up. Okay, our main source for this is going to be this 1,000-watt light with a softbox attached to it. You know, I've also got attached to the front of this softbox a little set of louvers. They just kind of helps to take this soft beam of light and just make it a little more directional. This is good for little tight spaces like this. Now, as far as positioning goes, I've got it, just off to the side and almost behind our subject. This is going to help me to keep light from spilling onto our chalkboard here, so I can kind of light that separately. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on and see what kind of adjustments I got to make to it. Now, since I've got this kind of off to one side into the extreme a little bit, I need to fill in the other side and fill in any shadows that we got going on here. And for that, I'm going to use a hunk of foam core. I'm just going to go ahead and mount this off to one side, and we'll go see what kind of adjustments we need to make. Okay, for our chalkboard, I'm using this hard light, this 300-watt jobber here, and I've also got attached to it this light orange gel. Now, I've got it placed just behind our key light here to kind of simulate that the light is all coming from the same source, a window perhaps. And this is where a cookie comes into play. So, you may remember this from another episode. This is not a very good looking cookie. It's downright pitiful. I made it from an old box, but it is going to do the job. Now, since I'm kind of running out of stands, I'm going to go ahead and take this old ironing board, and I'm just going to kind of mount it up off to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clamp my cookie to this little arm here. This will look pretty good. Now all that's left to do is have the hand drop our apple into place. Why don't we take a look at the final product, huh?
Fairview Elementary School, where even our name implies that your outlook isn't that clear.
All right, let's recap, shall we? All right, we get our desk into place and our props, things like that. Good. Let's go need these C-stands up for our chalkboard background. Excellent. And for lighting, we have a 1,000-watt for the key and a bounce card for the fill. And for the background, we're using a 300-watt light with a pathetic little cookie in place. This is looking pretty good. Let's shut the garage door, get the overhead lights off, and there we go. About 8 feet. Well, there you go. Just because you're limited in space doesn't mean you need to be limited in creativity. This whole setup here only took up about an 8x8 section in my garage. By thinking outside of the box, no matter how big your box may be, you can still pull off shots that your clients are going to love. Well, that's about it for this week. Thanks a lot for watching. Good luck. Whew. Man, it's hot in here.
Dad, you okay in there?